And welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 8th day of May 2023. It is the day when the Cabinet Secretary for the Interior, Professor Kithure Kindiki, is on a familiarization tour of the Moi GK prison, and also the chair of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, who has been nominated and approved by the President, that is Bishop Dr. David Oginde, is going to be sworn in this afternoon at the Supreme Court. Just some of the stories that we are keeping up with as we do our news cycle, and also have conversations around sport. And having a conversation around sport, let me also mention that tonight we've got the Oscars of Sport, the Laureates Awards, and there is a Kenyan institution known as Box Girls. They do boxing while also, helping people get out of tough situations in life. And they've given us Sarah Chieng, who's already one of the top pro boxers. Box Girls have been nominated for a second time for the Sport for Good Award. Could we see them win this time round? We shall find out later tonight. And they could join the list of Eliud Kipchoge, moving the goalposts, and Mathare Youth Sports Association as Kenyans who have won that coveted Laureates Award. That's part of the news items that we will be keeping up with today, amongst other things. And we continue, and we are celebrating the world champions, Kenya's men and women. We're talking about RollBall. The trophies are here with us. The World Cups are here, not encased like the one that Lionel Messi did win last year, but these two trophies that are just in front of the set are huge ones, and we can't simply say it's an easy task. For the women, it was the third win. The first one was in 2015, the second 2019, and they successfully defended their title 2023. For the men, it was the first time. And, to talk about the sport and what is going to be the next step for them, we've got the president of RollBall Kenya, Samuel Litaba. President, congratulations.
Thank you.
And right now, first of all, having won, these are the fourth World Cups that have been won in Kenya. What has been that journey since we'd have to go back to 2013 when Kenya hosted the RollBall World Cup?
Yes, it has been an interesting journey. We've been growing with time. We have played now 6 World Cups with the men's team, 5 World Cups with the women's team. And my question was always, what can we do to make sure that our sports perform well at international level? Because I don't think we are lacking players in Kenya. The players are there, but there must be something that maybe we are failing. And I think to some extent the selection of the national team is critical, and then proper preparation for the national team. I think with the years we have been improving. We started off for men, we were position 8, then position 4 2 times, position 3, position 2, and finally position 1. For the women, we started off as position 2, went to position 3, then came back to position 1, and finally we have defended the position 1. So I think working together as we make RollBall like a family. In fact, if someone goes and gets married, they get a child, they'll still come back to RollBall. You'll find them coming with the child. Even the RollBall family takes care of that child during that time. Some of them have even come back to play. Yes.
Now, just taking a look at, getting the sport, introduced and getting the right gear, because I would simply say when going to play, for example, the World Cup, they'll even check the quality of this. They'll take a look at your kit, they'll take a look at your helmet, they'll take a look at these guards that are here.
Yeah.
Just tell us how, getting to have the right kit all through these years.
Okay, so when it's the national team and we're representing the country, the government normally steps in to help. Like this time, they bought us a kit they got skates and the helmet and the guards for the World Cup. But for the regular games, each team takes care of their own need for the safety gear. But for us, we insist on the safety gear so that, because if you fall and you injure yourself, chances are you are going to leave the sport. Yeah, but when you're safe, then chances are you'll continue playing the sport, you'll enjoy the game. So when we have our leagues, we have annual leagues every year, we have our people, the referees insisting on the gears. So most of the universities, especially the university teams, are able to cater for the gears, and the other clubs, people buy their own gear to use. Yes.
All right. This is Samuel Taba is the president of RollBall Kenya, and these are our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mwaura. Now, let's now talk about keeping the players active, and this is through the local league. Just give us a breakdown of how this works, where people are, and making sure that there's the continuous assessment of the quality of play that is there.
Okay, so of course we had the senior team, and we realized that if we don't work on the juniors, then we will not go very far, because we will not be having people to replace the Kevin Mainas and the others who have already left the sport. Yeah, so we are working right from the juniors. The many schools are playing the game, and also we have small clubs, especially the senior clubs have their juniors. Yeah, so most of the senior clubs have their junior teams which play. They have their own games which they play to help to sharpen them and prepare them for the future. Then we have the seniors who have the league which they play, the national league, which is played, and it's played all over Kenya. Most of the games, of course, are in Nairobi, but we go to Meru, we go to Maseno, we go to Mombasa to play at the different clubs that are there. Yeah, so apart from that, we have the university teams. And each region, the university has 6 regions. So each of the regions has their teams, and they play their own league within their region. Like Central is very strong, Nairobi, of course, Kiambu, those are the strongest, but now also Western has joined, and Mombasa, we have TUM, Pwani, and TTU. So they are also playing. So they play locally within the universities, then they also play with the national team, and all this helps to prepare the players for the competitions that are coming, that is at an international level. East Africa, Africa, and World Cup. Because
at that, one thing that everyone wants to ask about is the facilities, which basically, if you just take a look, for example, at your pictures right now, and you take a look at the facilities, RollBall is played on a wooden floor. If we were to look for the number of wooden floors in this country, we would have very few places to go to. You'd think of Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. You'd be thinking of the Nazarene University. That would be another place where there is a wooden floor. And that is what is required at international level. So, Bwana Litaba, looking at the surfaces that we have, what do you use now, and how do we lobby for more wooden floors?
Well, at the moment, first of all, it's not only wooden, because there are other places where we play on cement. Yeah, so cement, anything that is smooth, where you can roll with the wheels. But most of our playing areas are on tarmac, on cabro. Yeah, so those are the ones that are available. Mostly, that's why many universities play, because they would have a basketball court. Yes. So you use the basketball court, or you use the parking. The vehicle parking is what we, in the evening, or like in Jomo Kenyatta University, the parking for the vehicles is used in the evening. No vehicles park there, so they use it now to train. Yeah, so venues to train are actually limited, as you say, but we are lobbying with the government to get us space at Kasarani, so that also they can support us to put up 2 RollBall indoor courts. which are specific for RollBall, but of course can be used for other activities as well.
Actually, can be used for what? Handball would be one?
Yes, because the size of the field for RollBall is the same as the size of the field for handball. So handball can play there, tennis can play there, and many other sports that require little space. Volleyball, basketball, yeah.
And when you take a look at the surface, what would they ask for when you go play, for example, at the World Cup? And for example, and why? And the choice of Kasarani in 2013 as the World Cup.
Now, Kasarani was good because, of course, the floor itself is fantastic. Then we have the sitting space. So that was a natural choice for the game, and the space is sufficient. But other places, it is more difficult to get a space like that where you can play, and it is safe because tarmac, if you fall, you get grazed. Yeah. So it's more difficult to play on tarmac. You have to really be careful how you play. But when you play indoor, then it becomes easier. And then playing outdoor and playing indoor is very different because indoor is very smooth. So you need indoor wheels that help you to brake. But if you use the outdoor wheels, you'll not be able to play indoor. You'll keep falling all the time. So you must have the correct wheels. The boot can be the same, skate boot, but the wheels change.
Okay, just explain that technical part about the boots. Because in football, people know that there are boots you can use on an artificial surface, a dry surface, and on a wet surface. How do you, what changes with the wheels?
It's the material they use to make the wheels. I don't know the technicalities. But we have indoor wheels, and we have outdoor wheels. Excuse me. So there are those that are used indoor, and there are those that are used outdoor.
President, let me just interrupt you because we've got to catch up with one event.
Okay.
Because speaking at the moment, we have got the Principal Secretary, Correctional Services, Mary Mudhoni, who is speaking at the Mwea GK prison, where the Cabinet Secretary for the Interior, Professor Kithure Kindiki, is on a familiarization tour. So let us move over to Mwea prison.
Form a bond with them so that we are able to fast track some of those cases. There's one thing to take them to court, and there's another thing to fast track the cases through judiciary to ensure that they are justly heard and given the priority that it deserves. CS, we have had some of them sit for their national examinations, that is KCPE and KCSE, and some of them did very well. So again, improvement and strengthening of that. We are very keen about it because we do not want to leave anybody behind. We want everybody who comes here. Either uko workshop ama uko darasani, si ndio? Hakuna kurandaranda ovyo ovyo. Ndio ukitoka pale nje, kama wewe uko na workshop, serikali inaangalia mambo ya hustler fund. Unachukua simu, unachukua hustler fund, sisi tunakuongezea kidogo kidogo, unaanzisha mradi hapo, tunakuja tunanunua. Sababu tulisema, we want to be their clients, we don't want them to be our clients. And because this is your day, CS, I do not want to take much time. But before that, could we kindly allow the Deputy Governor to say a word? And maybe the MP from where? We can start with the MP and then we come to the Deputy Governor. Mary. Simpigie mama makofi.
That is the Principal Secretary, Correctional Services, Mary Mudhoni, speaking at the Mwea GK prison, and we shall be going back there when Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki will be addressing them. We continue with the conversation, and this is about RollBall, and we were talking about kits and the material. So, Samuel Litaba, President RollBall Kenya, just talk about how they change that for the indoor and the outdoor.
Okay, so the skate has wheels. And it also has a bearing on it. So the bearing you can maintain, but the wheel itself changes. We have indoor wheels and outdoor wheels. So if you use the indoor wheels outside, they wear out very fast. In fact, most of our players, when they use them, only one session and they'll be gone. Yeah, because the material that is used helps them to break when they are playing indoor. Yeah, but if they use the outdoor ones indoor, they cannot break. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what is inside the wheel, the material itself. Maybe that's my homework.
Okay. Well, not much to worry about, but also let us now see what is the way now to develop coaches, match officials, people who can work within the RollBall ecosystem, because it's not just the players who are being developed. How do you grow our technical level?
Okay, maybe even just at the World Cup. If you do not have your referees at the World Cup, you will not win the World Cup, full stop. So we made sure that we had our referees. One referee on this side was Kenyan and the other one was Indian. Yeah, so because most of the referees are Indian. So if you don't go with your referees, you're finished. Yeah, so
why would you insist on that? Kenyans love complaining about referees.
True, but instead of complaining, we have taken action. We make sure that our people are there on the ground, so that it makes it easier and the cheating reduces. At least it's at a level where you can fight. But if you have no referee there, then you're in trouble, because there are some calls that are 50-50. So a referee can decide to go whichever way they want. Yeah, so, but when you have your people on the ground, at least even when there are plans, they know, and they'll tell you in advance that be careful about this. Yeah.
Very interesting about that. And that's from the referees. Technical support for the coaches.
Yeah.
How is that working?
Yeah, so every year we have a training for coaches and referees, and we prepare the people who are going to coach the various teams and the people who are going to referee our league. Yeah, so we have trained referees all over the country who are taking care of the games. When they require more support, we send also from Nairobi, and they go to help them to run the games in the other parts of the country.
Yes. Given this, we all know that, for example, FIFA, we know, is a moneybags institution, and they do support. In a World Cup here, they do increase their support to member associations. What the Global Federation now are doing towards supporting nations, Kenya, from an emerging nation to world champions now? What are they doing for that? And the continent?
Well, the world body is they're still crying about financial support. They get some support, but it's not enough to trickle down to the nations. So ideally, the nations take care of themselves. Like Kenya, we take care of ourselves and until we go to the World Cup. Yeah, so they do not send any money to the upcoming nations. Yeah.
Wow, quite an interesting thing, because we all, at this level, something should be happening. Now, for those who would like to be a part of RollBall and come join the family, which you've spoken about, what's the way to do it? The easiest place, for example, where if someone is in Nairobi can go and start their RollBall career.
Well, the home of RollBall is Kenyatta University. That's what we call the home of RollBall. But Jomo Kenyatta is almost taking over. They have a very strong team. But we also have people at the park in town where the skaters are. So if they go there, they'll be given directions on how to get to us. But we are also on Facebook. We are on Instagram, Kenya RollBall Federation on Instagram, and also Kenya RollBall Federation on Facebook. So it is possible to get in touch, and then we will connect you to the nearest club, or if you want to support the players, the teams, we can also connect you to the teams so that you can be able to help them out. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Samuel Letaba is president of RollBall Kenya, and RollBall Kenya have given us 2 teams that are world champions, and the World Cups are here with us in studio, the men's and the women's. Congratulations to you, and on to higher levels.
Thank you, but we would also like to meet the president of Kenya.
Okay.
One of these days to present these trophies.
Oh yes, they need to be presented.
Yes.
Let him first come back from the Netherlands and Israel.
Okay.
At least someone has had that.
All right.
Thank you very much, President Letaba.